Hi everyone, and welcome to what will be the very first episode of the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. I am Jason Flood, and I thank everyone who's listening to the podcast. It has been my first time doing a podcast in, I believe, 6 years. That being me recording myself doing it. I of course run Jason Flood Digital Marketing, a 5-star rated digital marketing agency based in Ireland that also offers digital marketing solutions to business owners in Ireland and worldwide. I offer website design, website hosting, social media content creation, social media management, and that includes ads. I also do consultancy, so I help businesses with their digital marketing. I do workshops also. So I guess I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to digital marketing, but this is actually very, very new to me. When I was doing podcasts a few years ago, you would simply record it and then you'd put it on Audacity, then you'd edit it, and here I am now on Riverside FM, which a lot of business owners recommended me to use who do podcasts, and it is all completely new to me, guys. I'm looking at the interface here. I'm amazed at how much simpler it is than how it was when I was doing my bachelor's degree in Dublin City University. And that's when I would have started doing podcasts, because it was very hard to get any real experience in media content creation, so I had to go out and get it myself. So I think this platform really is amazing. So for anyone who is looking into doing podcasts for their business, or even personally, because the podcast sector is booming now, I would definitely recommend checking out Riverside FM. So I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. My name's Jason Flood. I'm from Kildare in Ireland. I operate Jason Flood Digital Marketing. As I was saying, the services I offer: website design, social media, content creation, consultancy. I have been operating Jason Flood Digital Marketing now for nearly 3 years, which I'm very, very proud of. I've developed a great reputation for developing real results within an affordable budget, because I like to not only look at it as a digital marketer, but I also like to put myself in the shoes of a business owner and really try to meet them halfway when it comes to costs, but as well as that, what they actually need for their business. And I've been very, very successful at that with that approach. So you're probably thinking, why am I getting into podcasting? The past year, I've really developed a passion for community building. I operate support groups for business owners in Kildare, Dublin, Amsterdam, Alicante in Spain, which I was there for a few months last year, Albufeira in Portugal, which I was also in last year. I also have groups in New York. I'm trying to think, is there one I'm forgetting? New York and Philadelphia. Philadelphia I only launched the other week. I hope to have business groups set up in London, which I did a business trip last year in, and also California. I would have spent 4 months in California on a J1 grad visa a few years ago, after I finished my bachelor's degree in law and media in DCU. I came home during COVID-19, and as many of us remember, which feels like a lifetime ago now, I came home when, the masks started, so it was like a Black Mirror episode. It didn't feel real. The sector was, the digital marketing sector, the content creation sector really it was hard enough to get into, but that just made it 10 times worse. I worked and I obtained my master's degree during that period. I worked in a garage, which I was very, very lucky to work in, because it stayed open as it sold petrol and diesel, so it was essential. I did my master's degree in digital marketing in Dublin Business School. I then parlayed that into what is now known as Jason Flood Digital Marketing. I started to acquire real clients, and it kind of just grew from there, guys. And the past year, I started really focusing on the community building, putting roots in these places. I'm going to these international locations, and the ones here in Ireland, as I said, in Kildare and Dublin. And it has really just generated a passion for me as it pertains to networking. I absolutely love networking, and I just love sitting down with someone and talking to them, having a coffee and talking about their businesses, learning about their pain points, offering them advice, but also learning. For me in my business, I've gotten some amazing tips from business owners that I've been able to apply to my business, and I've seen massive growth, especially this year. This year is 100% going to be the best year I've had. I can see that by the statistics in front of me. So I think that by doing this podcast and by talking to other business owners, generating more insightful conversations about businesses, these specific types of businesses as well, will help educate others who are looking to get into these fields, who are looking to set up their businesses. So that's really what I'm looking to do here, as well as networking. I love networking. I want to meet more people, meet more business owners. So that's what I'm looking to accomplish here for myself too. Meet more people, more business people, and really just provide people interested in digital marketing and business with as much value in regards to information as possible to help them then transform their businesses. So that's why I'm doing this. As well as that, I'll be pushing this on social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, my LinkedIn. So you're going to be seen by more people. This will be done through collab posts as well, so you'll be seen on my wall. And I'll be pushing your business, letting people know, why they should go with you, learning about the services you offer, really getting to know you, because I think it's important to get to know the person behind the business as well. It's funny, I actually recorded some interviews already for this podcast series, and I was speaking to Cecilia Moran, who will be coming on next week, technically the first guest, and we were talking about how it's the personality that drives the business. So I think by your audience learning more about you and you as a person and why you do what you do, why you offer the services you offer, I think will help strengthen that personal connection with your audience. And I think that's very, very important, guys. I think it's something a lot of people neglect, that we're humans at the end of the day. And it's very, very important to let people see that side, and not for it to be so promotional and so salesy all the time, for people to get to know more about the person behind the business. So I'm very, very excited to be able to do that, using this platform to have these conversations and really allow your audience to learn more about the person behind the business. And we'll learn more along the way when it comes to digital marketing and really business, which is very, very important. And I tell everybody, you should be listening to podcasts, you should be reading books. I'm a huge advocate for books. I'm probably a 9 people at this point, because it's only something I started this year, and I'm constantly looking at ways to help benefit what I'm doing, whether it be being more productive. So I train a lot. I do cold water therapy, I meditate, I do all these things, I do breath work, I do all these things to help my productivity with the business, to manage my stress levels. And that's something I'm going to be talking a lot about, guys, is that stress levels is very important when you're running a business, because you have to keep everything in check, you have to stay steady, and that's something I really, really want to talk about. Of course, when I get the right guest on, I want this to be very organic. A lot of people I'm set to speak with are like, oh, what do I have to have prepared? And I actually don't want people to have anything prepared. I don't want people to listen to this podcast and think, oh, they're putting on voices, or I don't want that. I want this to be very real, very organic. I look at this like you're sitting down with someone having a coffee, a business owner, and you guys are flies on the wall. That's really what I want to achieve here. Because a little bit more about me, I did content creation for years. I was on YouTube. I always say I had an illustrious career on YouTube. I obviously didn't become a big, huge content creator, but I did develop a lot of skills which make me a much better digital marketer, and that's kind of how I fell in love with digital marketing. I was in California at the time. I did 2 videos, one on YouTube, which the amount of editing, guys, I would have done, you would have swear as if I was Quentin Tarantino. There was that much effort put into the editing, and I believe I got maybe 5,000, 6,000 views, which I mean, I guess is pretty good on YouTube, considering there was no paid mechanisms behind it. But then I did a small video. I did a small video on TikTok, and it got like 60,000 views. And that video took me, I believe, not even messing, maybe 3 to 5 minutes to do. So it's funny how it works, and it got me really interested in behind the scenes. So that's kind of what pushed me to get into digital marketing. And of course, with COVID-19, I felt like it was the perfect time to get a master's degree in it. And I did that master's degree in Dublin Business School. I got to meet amazing people. I got to learn about website design. I got to learn about, more in depth about social media management, even though I felt like I knew a lot about it. I already knew a lot about graphic designs. So it's really helped me kind of have this multiple skill set, which allows me to offer the packages I'm offering, and really just to help business owners the best way I can. And that is what I want to accomplish when it comes to the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. I want to have real conversations. I want to help people when it comes to their businesses, but I also want to help people listening who might be interested in getting involved in business, how they can do it from a digital marketing perspective, but also hearing the business owners speak about their beginnings and how they got started. So that's what we're going to be doing here, guys. Finally, what I'd like to say is that all business owners who come on, their websites will be linked in the description of the podcast. I aim to have the podcast on Spotify and on multiple different platforms. Then back in the day, there used to be Anchor FM, which you'd put it there and it'd go on everything like SoundCloud and stuff. But as I said, it's been a long time, folks, since I've done this. So look, I don't even know if it's still going, the Anchor FM. It's been that long. A lot of things have changed. So I'm still figuring out that aspect of it. But of course, when this is live, you're going to know where the website is anyways. But all the links will be in the description. As well as that, I'm going to be introducing something called Musician of the Week. That might change. The name of that might change to something a bit more catchy. But because I only thought of this idea last night in the early hours of the morning, sometimes if I start thinking about these things, I'm up all night. But basically, I'll be taking a musician, an actual local one, or someone I'll be speaking with, obviously. So there'll be copyright. There'll be no issues there. But basically, I'll be then adding them as a collaborator on the post. So they're going to be exposed to my audience, and then the business owner's audience, and the business owner and myself will be exposed to theirs. So it's a fantastic way to be more seen, and that's something I really want to do here, is that I want this podcast to be not only as accessible as possible, but in terms of social media, for it to have a fantastic reach. And I feel like that can be done through collaborative posts. And who knows, down the line, maybe I'll do some ads on it. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of everything. So it could be a month. I'm thinking now, because I'm recording this in real time. But realistically, this won't be coming out until late August, early September. But I just want to say a special thank you to everyone who has supported Jason Flood Digital Marketing over nearly 3 years now, which is it's crazy for me to even say that's how long I've been at this. But I would not have been able to reach this point if it wasn't for the support of all of you. So people sometimes ask me, is sharing something really that big a deal on social media, online on a blog or whatever, and it is. It really, really is. The more people see your content, the better. And I'm of course going to be educating you all on that, but it goes a long way as well for the business owner who, you know, might be working. Like I did a stretch, I believe 16 to 17 days in a row last December leading into Christmas, and it nearly ended me. It probably wasn't the most intelligent thing I've ever done, because it can actually be counterproductive after a while. But I took on a big project in Christmas time and got over the line, thank God. But still, when you're putting in that level of work, for someone to drop you a share, and it goes a long way personally too. So take out the ROI, it goes a long way personally too. And I've been very lucky to have that support in my local communities. As I said, I'm from Kildare and Suncroft. In Kildare itself, people in Manstown where I'm from. It's the friends in Dublin internationally. I've just been very, very lucky and very, very blessed. So I just want to thank everyone who's done that. And yeah, that's kind of everything. One more final thing I want to stop saying is, yeah, that's something. I nearly did it there. I nearly just did it there again. That is something I've been doing a lot, and I guess hopefully this will improve my communication skills when it comes to speaking. So I'm going to be, that's another thing I need to stop as well. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. So so, I just did it again. Hopefully by the end of the year, it'll be episode, I don't know, 60 or 50 of the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show, and I'll come across much better speech-wise. I just said that again. Ugh. Now I can't even talk. See, this is much harder than it looks. A lot of you don't realise how hard this is. I'm not even going to edit this out because I want you all to hear this, because I'm on my own in a hotel room doing this. But I'll be very, very excited to see the progress and see how things change and organically comes together, really. Come the end of the year, after I do, come the end of next year, not the end of this year. I'm not going to get as many done by the end of this year, but just to see it all come together organically, the involvement of other people, really, when it comes to the interviewing, but when it comes to advice, I'll be very, very excited for that time to come. If anyone would like to be a guest on the show, email me at info@jasonflooddigitalmarketing.com. Visit my website, jasonflooddigitalmarketing.com. You can also follow me on social media, Jason Flood Digital Marketing. All these links are going to be in the description below. And also, if you would like to be one of the featured musicians on the show each week, also email me in the descriptions. And that's it, guys. So, I did it again. Now I'm overthinking it. Now it's actually hard not to say it. So I'm just going to say thank you to everyone who listened. I look forward to speaking with you all more in depth when the time comes each week. And you know what you need to do if you want to come on, if you want to get involved. Thanks a million, guys, and I hope you all have a lovely day.